I like how our youth group is willing to acknowledge obstacles that hinder our growth with our Father and with our fellowship with each other. I like how we're taking this changes. I like how we're taking the steps for change to help encourage each other to grow closer in Christ.
Before the pandemic, there were a lot of boba runs or volleyball games or just like playing board games, right? I think it helped the fellowship a lot because like it taught us all about teamwork and we got to know each other more. And like those little games turned into something bigger, which really helped our fellowship.
So we just had college send-off in August, and it wasn't actually anything that happened during college send-off, but I was standing with Hao, and she was just looking at the youth, and everybody was just like hanging out, chilling on the grass, and she was like, you guys don't even have to do anything, you guys just love being in each other's presence. And I thought that was really touching because we just enjoy being with each other and fellowshipping with one another because we have Jesus in our relationship, and I think that's really special.
Yeah, so I think the one thing I love most about the youth group is just being able to be vulnerable and just really open with the youth and just having a very warm reception towards that. And yeah, that's what I love most about the youth.
God has taught me how to be more reliant on Him because I definitely go to work and have to balance work with school and also my church commitments. And so I think with all those commitments, I've been definitely learning how to be more reliant on God.
Even when the fight seems lost, I'll praise you. Even when it hurts like hell.
So as you guys know, I was home for spring break, and I was really happy to be back with you guys. And then I got the news that we'd be staying home for the rest of the school year, and my initial thoughts were like very chill because I thought it would just be a 2-week ordeal and then life would go back to normal.
So my initial reaction, I think more than anything, would just be like shock, because I think back then nobody knew that it would be this severe and that people would still be locked in like this late into the year. But yeah, just to see like school closed down, sports closed down, and like all the places closed down one by one, it was just like, I think it's a once in a lifetime like experience.
At first, I'll be honest, I was pretty happy because I didn't have to go to school, but eventually I saw everything around me and I was excited about a lot of things in the upcoming months, but they got canceled, so it was bittersweet. But ultimately I found contentment because I was confident that everything would work out and be okay.
When I saw everything being canceled and all that, like I was pretty down because first, I wouldn't get to be able to go to church. Second, I wouldn't be able to play volleyball at school, and like, yeah, it just sucked doo-doo.
In pandemic, that was one of the toughest times in my life because, I get a lot of my energy from my friends and the people around me. And so, what I realized is that I wasn't allowing myself to get that same energy from God in my relationship with Him. And pandemic forced me to really consider that relationship by meditating more and just reflecting on, how much do I actually love God compared to the people around me. And so I just really had to spend a lot of time in reflection, looking at myself, my priorities, and the way I align my heart and my soul with what God wants.
I would say that this is a time to be intentional with like reaching out to friends that they might not have talked to in a while, and like having FaceTimes, phone calls, and really getting to know them on a deeper level besides just like surface level stuff. And I would say like this is a time to also pursue like the greatest relationship of all, the relationship with Jesus, and being able to devote like time into that relationship and really build it off of a firm foundation.
I've been keeping up my faith through the pandemic by praying every day and doing devotionals. In addition, I've been having an accountability partner to keep up with our spiritual growths. And I continue to reach out to other people to pray for other people and make sure that they're not falling behind or growing further away from God.
So I've been keeping up with my faith just through, honestly, fellowship with the youth, whether it was over Zoom or in person. And I think especially during quarantine, it was a lot of time that I was able to be in prayer more often and just have more conversations with God and just talk to Him about my everyday struggles, how life during quarantine was going, and know that He is always there to listen. This year was really difficult because of COVID shutting everything down in March, but I'm really thankful and really blessed that high school and college and career have really stepped up and we've started our own ministry. So now we have more Bible studies than ever before, and we also started small groups, which is really exciting, that we can all just be with one another and spend time in the Word and just see what's going on in our lives. So I'm really thankful that we have all of these new avenues to praise and worship God.
Yeah, so I guess the two main pieces of advice I would have as a leader or a former leader are first, treasure your leaders and be there for them. A lot of the times they're struggling with their own problems just as you are, and yet as they strive to help you, maybe no one's helping them. And so I would advise you guys really to not take them for granted, to love and appreciate them and to just check up on them, because it's hard for them to admit vulnerability or weakness, and that's on them, but it's also on the rest of us to be a support system. And kind of following that, I would advise all of us not to take each other for granted. Something bad can happen to anyone and they can disappear from church even if they're the strongest believer, and so the only way we can fight that is by being there for each other actively and by remembering each other. And so don't take anyone for granted, from the loudest person in the church to the quietest one.
Nobody else is laughing at this. Sorry,
왜들 그리 다운돼 있어? 뭐가 문제야? Say something.
Don't